I'm standing on the steps of the old Judge Parker's courtroom. What a historical place this is. For many years, over a quarter of a century, he held court here. There is a patriotic voice being raised today by thousands, if not millions, around this country that are calling for Americans to come back to a common sense, realistic way of looking at life. We have to look at our history to check out what our future will be. Here, courtrooms produced right and wrong, in or out, won, lost cases. Lives were changed when they came back down these steps. It's a reminder of our past, of the judgment systems that we had, of freedoms that we had, and the law enforcement that did its very best to make a country clean again. If the foundation be destroyed, said Psalm 11:3, what can the righteous do? Well, the righteous can not only hold truth, can not only expect and demand judgment and right thinking and common sense law, but one thing that we need desperately in this country is a free press. We had that in America. In fact, it was one of the grandest things the world had ever seen. Every man or woman could sit with a pen, and now with a computer, and write what they thought or what they saw or how they viewed it. They could tell the news without an opinion. They could tell the people, this is what happened today. Did you like that? Did you hate that? We need a free press more than ever before. We've divided ourselves into so many fractions and components of life today. It's hard to go in to get a courtroom clear case anymore because nothing is simple, nothing is easy. It seems as though we can never quite get loose of entanglement of anything in life today. But a free press is what America always counted on to tell the people what is going on in our country. We're all walking around with mobile devices that are giving us information by the nanosecond, and yet we have a hard time finding truth, finding a place that can just tell us what the truth is, so we seek for it. Many are worried today that our churches are going to close. More than 9,000 of them have across the country, but that's nothing compared to the businesses, more than 1 million businesses that will never open again in this country. Through bad decision making and through fear, I think that we've turned in a very bad direction, and the free press that used to tell us what things actually happened now opinionize it and have an agenda themselves. A free press is one of the things that made this country what it is today. And you know, when you consider the idea of freedom and a free press, part of that concept was so that there would be no political entanglement, there would be no favoritism, there would be no such thing as we're going to produce an angle here so that we all benefit from it. It was just telling the news. It was just letting people have the information that they could make decisions by. We live in community. We live in the fact that I have to respect you in this community, you have to respect me. Our opinions are going to differ, but it should never separate us. And we have lost that because of the loss of the freedom of the press. When our patriots sat and wrote the Declaration of Independence, when they wrote the Constitution, when they wrote the amendments that are so cherished but now are being calculated, destroyed. When they wrote these things, it was with a healthy respect one for another, even though we still had slaves, even though some of those who wrote those words were slave holders. They didn't have it all right, but the principles were there, and the principles are right. Our schools must begin to go back and teach this history once again of who we are and why a free press is so important. When I was a boy, I used to act like I was a news reporter, and I would stand under a tree or something and I would be giving the news. And today, sadly, it's not a business I would want to be in. Even the local news are reading the words from the script that's coming from the mother company all the way down. Just read the words, tell the people, give them our agenda. So when I say to you, if the foundation be destroyed, what can the righteous do? Build up a free press. Go back to writing. Go back to putting your ideas and opinions on the platforms of Facebook until they take you down. We have to look at that, the free press. If Facebook and Twitter are not a free press, but they are indeed a private, individually owned company that can kick any platform off that they like, then we must find a free press. And I think as patriots in this country, if they take us off Facebook, if they take us off Twitter, we'll get homing pigeons and put the messages one to another, whatever it takes to get the word out, to hold the line, to be strong, to speak truth to one another, to be kind to one another, to respect even the person that you hate the most, to be kind to them and to respect that opinion, to not be offended at everything that happens to you, and to live this life in freedom that Jesus Christ can bring to your life. As we stand here on these courthouse steps, remember, what we need is a free press.